was waiting.
Okay.
Big crowd today.
Call the meeting to order, please. Pledge allegiance to the flag. I
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I salute the flag of the great state of New Mexico
As the symbol of perfect friendship
among united cultures.
You're set.
Okay. Consideration of agenda.
You want to move number 9 up or not?
What's number 1? Oh, we're looking at the old.
Kendra, is Kendra here?
She's right there. What? He said he didn't know. Kendra, she's here. Yeah, okay.
Becca, do we have an agenda?
I could get you an extra one.
I
Oh,
left
you
the
took
one
it the
at
other
home.
day.
You gave me the. I know.
You see, the lady will get it.
The lady, I am. Thank you, sir. Your concern is most touching.
Don't get up, Robert. We don't want you to, okay?
Are we okay with that? Just-
Thank you, ma'am.
You're welcome.
Ask some water.
But there's a faucet in there.
I'll take some tea while you're at it.
I have my hands.
Okay,
I appreciate the effort. Thank you, ma'am.
You're welcome.
consideration of the agenda.
I'll make my motion to approve.
I'll second it.
All those in favor say aye.
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 Number 2, unscheduled correspondence and public comment.
I have Judge Barry.
Okay.
I'm bringing this to the trustees because I want it, hopefully it gets broadcast out so everybody knows about it. It was brought to my attention that there are several people that have questions and concerns about the amount of patrol.
Uh-huh.
And even one of them got me this nice paper here. It shows me that they kind of operating improperly. Well, when I dug into this here, I found out this paper right here is strictly the SOP for the state police.
Right.
Okay, this is how the state police will handle it, not how the rest of the state has to handle it. And when I checked with the Attorney General's office, the municipal court leagues, RDA, and a couple of district judges, everybody says that under this circumstance with the chief requesting them in here, and under the criteria they're here, they're perfectly within their rights in the village and their rights to use them. And they said the only way to get a full-fledged determination on it, because there's no yes or no, just flat yes or no, is somebody will have to get a citation, have to come to court, plead not guilty. The court will have to find them guilty. They'll have to appeal it to a higher court.
Okay.
And then they might get an answer that's different than what we got. But all the answers I got right now is that they're 100% working within their rights. And this thing here, this paper here, does definitely say that the way they're operating is out of bounds. But this is not the state procedure. This is strictly the state police procedure.
I wish you could have asked me because Jay Blakely gave me the specifics for what the mounted patrol
Right,
can
I've
do.
got that, I've had that, but I've had this come across my desk probably 4 or 5 times in the last, and so well, when they first showed up, I wanted to make sure that we was good. If they come, if their questions, if their tickets got questioned, they come to court. I found out they was, and then I got this thing handed to me, so I researched it out some more for myself.
Mr. Berry, is it a general people of the village that are complaining to you? Or what is it?
Nobody, I'm not saying anybody complained. They've asked questions to see if they're,
That's the general public, correct?
yes, the general public, and there's been 1 or 2, it's a little tighter to the commission than the general public, all right? Okay, I'm not gonna put that across the air. If somebody asks me privately, I'll be glad to tell them, all right?
Well, if anything else is said, I would like for you to inform me.
Okay, that's
about
not a
it
problem.
because
Yeah.
I am not operating illegally.
Yes, ma'am, No, and that's,
And I
and
do
that's why,
not promote or Darren, and I know the chief feels the same way as I do.
and I just wanted to get it out here.
And I appreciate you bringing that to us, to the board.
On the internet to make sure that, so people know that, we're not just flagging it on, that we're actually following through and looking at it.
I appreciate that very much. Thank
All right,
you.
can I go ahead and go again?
Yeah, your
Okay.
your
My
turn
second
next.
one's personal, okay? I got on there twice. I'm wanting to and going to move a 40-foot storage container on my property. I checked with Chris Rupp. He said it was perfectly within the compounds. But because of my elected office and stuff, I want to make sure I come here in case there is an issue. It's just one of those 40-foot storage containers that you see all over the country. I'm going to put it on the Bobosky property.
Which property?
Huh?
Which property?
Over on Bosky.
Okay, okay,
Huh? Yeah, right across from the high school. All right,
Okay.
all right, thank you.
Uh-huh. Yeah, they don't have to get
Okay,
it's a storage container.
okay.
I know what he's talking about.
Yeah, it's right, we're behind that big fence anyway,
Yeah.
nobody's gonna see it.
Okay, Mr. Dinky?
Greetings,
Oh,
Robert.
Mr. Danke, how are you?
Doing well, thank you. I have two questions. Well, first of all, these are copies of a village ordinance about bagworms.
About what?
Bagworms?
Oh, bagworms, oh, okay.
Oh, bagworms. You, Robert?
Base.
Thank you, senor.
I looked this up because this is the third year in a row, bagworms have been a problem in my neighborhood. And they're spreading north to Alamo Street and also in the park, Philippi Hill Park. So I'm requesting the village to enforce the ordinance about bagworms. It's pretty specific.
Okay. I'll make sure that our ordinance officer has this, okay? So that he can use that.
Yeah, they're already climbing across the street and up my
We
way.
have to spray, or we have to probably cut down some branches as well.
They're not our trees, they're neighbor trees, right?
Well, the ones I'm specifically talking about are 1101 Fifth Street, across the street,
Oh, yeah.
really bad. But also, there's a couple trees in the park, there's a couple trees, there's cottonwoods all over the 49 blocks.
Yeah, they used to be all over by the church.
Right, and they're starting to take over again.
They get in my trees, I burn them right away.
Janesville Park, yeah.
Sorry?
Talking about Janesville Park as well?
Yes. And once they get started, they don't get any better without intervention, so. And that's pretty specific what the ordinance says and how to take care of them.
Yeah.
So the second issue I'd like to bring up is, I'd like a water update on the legal proceedings with you and the Ditch Corporation. I haven't heard anything in a while, so I'd just like an update if there is
Oh,
one.
about our lawsuit, the
Yes, ma'am.
village? There's no movement yet. There's nothing going on. I mean, there's nothing right now. It's in court. We're waiting for them to decide what they're gonna do.
District Court in Alamogordo?
It's in district court, yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Because there's two other lawsuits that are getting faster traction than you guys, but I was just curious because I haven't heard what the,
Well, part of it is that instead of going to court, they'd like to negotiate, like, a mediation. We've agreed to it,
you have agreed?
but they have not, so.
Well, to me, it's either you get green access or you don't. But that's just my opinion.
Yeah.
And they're doing the same with the other two lawsuits, but those people are pressing forward and they're getting a court date next week.
The difference is that the judge himself is wanting us to work it out.
Understood.
He doesn't, it's not our lawyer, it's the circumstances. They'd rather people talk it out and work it out, but
Understood.
I can't work anything out with an empty chair, so.
Understood. Well, yeah, they're avoiding and delaying. That's just a tactic.
Yeah.
There's a couple ideas on how the village could possibly get more immediate water, like within a week or two, if that will help. So I could talk with you guys if you're interested offline on some ideas that might work quickly.
Yeah.
So
Or what?
that's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you.
Or what?
Probably talk to Pat about that. He's kind of our about getting more water. He has some thoughts about it.
Okay, that's it for
That's it.
unscheduled correspondence.
So, number 3, Valerie Delgado, Finance Officer, is requesting to adopt FY 25-26 Operating Budget Resolution 2025-26-1.
I'm speaking for Valerie, so. This is just, our final operating budget for this upcoming year. I have, given you guys a resolution up there. This is something we have to pass every year.
Yes.
Budget already got approved and everything like that, so we just need the okay from you guys.
Make a motion to approve?
I'll second it.
All those in favor say aye.
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 Roll call, Bruce Wallace.
Aye.
Garcia.
Aye.
Sines.
Aye.
Okay, thank you.
Number 4, Valerie Delgado, Finance Officer, is requesting approval of the fourth quarter FY financial report ending in 6/30/2025, Resolution 2025-26-2.
This was just the end of our fourth quarter budget, ending June 30th. She just needs a resolution on this to wrap it up.
Yeah.
No
I make
questions,
a
so
motion.
move.
I'll second it.
Okay,
Wait, who, what?
Pat.
Pat? Okay.
No, not Pat.
Robert.
Robert.
all those in favor
Sines?
say aye.
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 Roll call, Bruce Wallace.
Aye.
Garcia.
Aye.
Sines.
Aye.
Number 5, Valerie Delgado, Finance Officer, is requesting to approve budget cleanup for FY 2024-25, ending on 6/30/25, Resolution 2025-2026-3.
So, I gave you guys the copy of the cleanup budget. It
Yes.
just shows you, what things she had to, from different departments and different funds, she had to, move some money around and stuff like that, so it's just, if you guys went through that and seen it, so,
Can I get
No
a motion?
questions, so move.
yes.
Okay,
I'll second it.
all those in favor say aye.
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 Roll call, Bruce Wallace.
Aye.
Garcia.
Aye.
Sines.
Aye.
Number 6, Rebecca Bryant, Village Clerk, is asking for approval for Resolution 2025-2026-4 regarding annual memberships due to the contribution of amount of $1,000 for the SNMEDD-COG.
So these are just our yearly fees that we pay the COG for helping us, Dora and Paul and everybody help us with our projects. So we just need a resolution on that and approval from you guys, and it'll make an annual contribution of $1,000.
Make a motion to approve?
I'll second it.
All those in favor say aye.
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 Roll call, Bruce Wallace.
Aye.
Garcia.
Aye.
Sines.
Aye.
Number 7, Rebecca Bryant, Village Clerk, is asking to approve Resolution 2025-2026-5 regarding American Tower Site number 311564/Tularosa, New Mexico Tower Site, the Second Amendment to lease agreement with easement.
So, Debbie is considered our landlord, well, Miss Cooksey is considered our landlord, cause she's the mayor. And this is our tower that we have. We're the landlords. We get the money. The Spectra Site Communications, we lease it out to them. So they just updated the lease. The mayor has already signed off on it, but they want a resolution on it. That's why I'm putting it on the
One
board.
out on Radio Road? That's
Yes.
on our property, okay, yeah. Okay.
Yes.
I'll make a
The
motion.
mayor has went through everything and signed everything, so.
Okay. I make a motion.
Okay.
I'll second it.
All those in favor say aye.
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 Roll call, Bruce Wallace.
Aye.
Garcia.
Aye.
Sines.
Aye.
Number 8, Rebecca Bryant, Village Clerk, is asking for a $1 raise for Karina Duran, MVD Clerk.
Okay, so Karina has been with us a year, as of the 1st of July. I know we weren't giving raises for the whole employees, but I do want to give her a raise because she definitely deserves it. She's so busy at that motor vehicle from morning till she gets off, and I definitely want to keep her, so I'm asking for a $1 raise for her.
On that note, I've had nothing but compliments on her part too. They've, from anywhere from she's such a good employee and talks to people to the fact that she's open 95% of the time
Yes.
considering.
Right.
Yeah,
And I've gone in the office a couple of times when they are loaded too.
Oh,
Do
definitely.
you know how many people come from Alamogordo, Cloudcroft?
We have to
Rodolfo?
literally take numbers off at like before noon, like at 11. If she has too many numbers, people sitting there because she won't be able to get everybody through or she won't be able to take a lunch, so.
Well, everywhere else, they need an
Appointment.
appointment.
Right.
Unless you go to those private MVDs and then that, you're paying $20 or $30
Right.
more.
Right,
She's done a great job, so I'll make a
Well, I'd
motion.
like to make the motion to approve.
thank you.
I'll
I'll
second.
sec-
Go ahead.
I'll
All-
second it.
All
Okay,
those in
Bruce
favor
Wallace.
say aye.
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 Thank you, guys.
Motion passed. Number 9, Kendra King, Keep Tularosa Beautiful, is wanting to present regarding a new recycling project as well as give an update on the current K Linda project. Hi, Kendra, how are you?
Thanks for having me. I'm very well. I want to give you guys this little tiny micro presentation because I love to talk about this stuff and I want to give you guys 15 or 30 slide presentations and put every single little piece out. And I don't want the size of my presentation to fool you on the amount of work that we've put in forward on this project. We didn't really get kicked off or started with the Q Linda project until February. So we've really only been working for 5 months. That's crazy to me to say that. And so, but we have accomplished, I would say, 75% of our requirements. And we did help Rebecca get a finalized report with our completion report into them. And so we were able to reapply for the 2026 funding. I don't know, how that goes, obviously, but we did put in for it. And so I want to talk to you first a little bit about what we did with the Q Linda, because the last time I spoke with you guys was already a couple of months ago, and so much has happened in a couple months. That's why I wanted to rewrite the whole script and give you guys this whole novel play of all of the steps that happened, but I'm going to just condense it down for just the information that we need. What Q Linda has been the most challenging grant that I've ever worked on. I've been working in community development now for 7 years, and this was the most challenging grant I have ever worked on. And I don't mean that disrespectfully, because it was kind of a confusing process, because when Rusty asked Rebecca to put in for that grant, it was very specifically under the pretenses that he wanted to work on those medians. And so Rusty isn't here this evening because he had tooth work done today. And so I sent him the link live, so he might be watching. Hi, Rusty, if you're watching. And then, he put in wanting to get some work and some traction on those medians, because he was kind of just right at the end of his burnout, where it was like, am I ever going to get anything done with these? And then he was awarded that grant money. And when you look at it on paper, it looks like so perfect. Like he had the most beautiful program written out. He was going to use his volunteers, do his Rusty thing, and be able to work on the medians. But when we got into the nitty-gritty of the working with the grant coordinator and her exact requirements for the DOT, what they wanted, that project did not line up with what they wanted at all. And I spent a little bit of time trying to force it. And the last time I even spoke with you guys had approved that we proposed we were going to spend, it wasn't a large amount of money. It was about $700 a piece, which, whoosh, that goes so fast, on each median, which would be across the whole 79 medians. And we were going to try to make this attempt to touch these medians, but it did not line up with their requirements. So we worked along with Rebecca. We had to attend all of their co-op classes, and we worked with Rebecca and just tried to identify what are we doing already that does line up with these requirements, because this money is already here and we don't want to mess it up. And so thankfully, some of the things that were kind of cut and dry and simple is that Rusty is an educator. He comes from an educator background. And one of the things DOT really wanted is youth empowerment. They really want to see us spreading that message. I know that we all remember Toss No Moss because we are that old. But Toss No Moss has not been an active campaign for over 30 years. But we still remember that saying because it was something we grew up hearing, that we toss no moss, you pick up your trash. But now they don't run campaigns like that anymore. And so the the Q Linda money was specifically put into place to enact in each individual community, and they didn't want to really put restrictions, and so every community kind of did something different. And for us, what were we going to do that was going to make an impact, but also embrace what we had going and build on it? Because we had Rusty and the Keep Tularosa Beautiful program. He needed support and some backup, some financial and some some strong brick commitment from the municipality and support. And then he needed some capacity building. And all of a sudden, it started to dawn on me that their requirements were formalizing a beautification program. Well, we needed to do that. Rusty was kind of just operating as a solo volunteer. And so formalizing, I thought, man, we need to do that. We got to do that. And so then we looked into it and even further, and one of the things was build capacity. So building capacity was where the idea of the Granado Street building came in, because where do we have to operate? Where can we even hold on to something to, say we're here, come see us, we want to do things. And so we leaped into that workspace, which, as you guys have already seen, we've had a couple of successful events, and it's been functioning, as we intended it to do, which was capacity building. And then equipment. Equipment is really an issue when you're working with volunteers and you're talking like it's this private person's computer, and how do you access like the email? And so you kind of become into issues that this is why these things are so complicated and hard, and they can't grow bigger past that one person. And so we addressed some of that capacity building, purchased a computer. I would say we were actually pretty frugal, Rusty and I both. We weren't setting out to like furnish a beautiful office with brand new supplies or anything. We purchased bare minimum what we felt like we absolutely needed. We felt like we needed a computer, a printer, we needed a couple of chairs. We purchased fold-out chairs because we were already borrowing people's chairs. And so just little stuff that we can also help us host the community cleanup events, like the grabbers and the vests and stuff. And so now we have enough that we can support about 100 people coming to a community cleanup event. At the last community cleanup in the spring that Rusty did, we were able to remove 45,000 pounds of trash just during that, with the roll-off dumpsters that were available for free dump, and then the people volunteering and picking up trash off of the roadway and stuff. So we started really thinking and realizing this stuff was really working, and we felt so good about ourselves. And then we did the math, and we had only spent about $100,000, and it was like, oh my gosh. And so we started really what were the requirements that we were looking at? One of the requirements that the grant coordinator continually expressed that she wanted to see was people purchasing equipment, something that's gonna last a long time. She wanted something that's gonna be able to be, recyclable, or promoting recycling or using, and I'm telling you what, it was one of the hardest riddles I've ever had to work out. And so we finally, based on a small idea, which I would like to credit to Rusty's wife, she had, with all of this median, one of the things that we encountered was, where are we going to find byproduct to do this? I mean, the $700 didn't touch anything. I mean, we could barely, that would have like put one little bed in each one, and so we were facing a byproduct issue. And so his wife said, why don't we start crushing glass and saving the glass? And I was like, gosh, that's a brilliant idea, actually. And so I got real serious about it and kind of started Googling. And there are other municipalities throughout the state that have purchased various equipment from various sizes, as far as like a home personal use that you can like put over a bucket and grind a bottle into, and it makes, usable glass product, to a real serious machine, which was where we leaned towards that we don't have any option to recycle glass anywheres around here, not in Otero County, not anywheres around here. And we really need something for Rusty and these students to do that isn't always in the road. And so when one of the Q Linda requirements was that this needed to be a student-led initiative. So here we listened to the presentations from the middle schoolers that we had over at the building over there, and these kids want to recycle. They want the ability to be able to recycle, but we don't actually have any way to provide that. We finally, amongst all of this, settled on purchasing a glass crusher, which we authorized through Rebecca and various, discussions. We didn't just actually even including the K-Linda grant coordinator, because we did not want to make a large investment with her coming up. And
scary.
she's very intimidating. She's an intimidating lady, but I will tell you what, you guys, she led us into the right position that somehow feels like we just did like the best, like I just feel like we nailed it. We did the best thing possible. When if we had originally stuck to the original plan, which I'll tell you what, sounded so zip and easy, it was like, I'm just gonna sit back and I'm just gonna watch Rusty work on these medians, and then like, we're just gonna be done in like a year and we'll be set, we'll go on to the next problem. Like, no, no, that is not how they intended that money to be spent. They wanted to see results that were gonna last at least 3 years. And at this point in time, when we formalized the beautification program and we did invest in like securing ourselves a workspace location, we did project the next 3 years. We are only secure right now for a year, but we have we're working on that second year. And so we bought ourselves a little bit of time to kind of work out some of these details. And then, so that's where we're at, that we decided we are gonna run a program. We're gonna let Rusty and the students collect glass, and they're gonna have a really nice glass crusher that produces a fine pea gravel product that like you can stick your hand in, and then they can have something to maybe line the little beds. It's actually, because it is a silica product, it's actually even like gardening friendly. It's a commonly used gardening product, silica is. So I feel like we got somewheres on that one. And that was the biggest, most important update that I wanted you guys to know, because it was a large purchase of equipment. It is something that we are still working on. We got to work out all the little details of where is it going to sit and how are we going to hook it up, and you know, but we have a little bit of time. We've ordered it and it takes 6 months before it'll even be ready to be delivered. And so we have a little bit of time to work on this stuff. And then we'll be able to build on that. Rusty has set up to where we're not gonna just like immediately, we don't have a way to start collecting millions of pounds of glass. So we're gonna be selective about the student run initiative to only make selective partnerships and partner with maybe some of the local businesses to start collecting their glass. And we'll build on that and see how much they can handle and how much we can produce and go from there. So that was where we're at with that, which felt like the right thing to do for our community, because it provided an outlet for students to recycle, and it provided a piece of equipment that will be long lasting. And there's a project that the medians, we may be working on those for the next long time. And I really felt like we nailed it there, that we set up ourselves to work on the medians, even if it's 1 little square foot at a time. Because as you guys know, since that happened, the median project really kind of got tricky. And I'm glad that it just kind of, everybody is on the same page with it now. There is a process and a proper process and procedure to follow to work on those. And Rebecca and I are actually, in fact, truly working on getting those checked off. But we don't have all of our ducks in a row. And until we do, we won't be able to get that formal permit and approval and actually have the formal approval to work on those medians deeply and change them and enhance them the way that Rusty originally envisioned. And so Rebecca and I are continuing to support that project. It's not just gone, but we are being careful. We do want to follow the proper processes and procedures and get that there in due time when it happens. And so I want to make sure that I'm not missing anything on here. So, the last thing that we are working on, this is where I feel like we've done so much, but yet we still have a little bit left to do with this particular funding. And that was one of the K-Linda requirements was to promote community-wide habits, to change people's habits, just like that Toss No Moss affected us, just like the Got Milk campaign, but what works in your community. So we were at one of the workshops with the cohort here, and another community, I can't remember the specific one to call them out because their work was really good. They did a great job. But what they had done is they had printed 10,000 placemats for the kids, and they had given them out to all of the restaurants in their community, and they called it 10,000 pledges to recycle, so that these kids, when they got their placemat at the restaurants, they could color the page and it says, I pledge to recycle, and it gives them facts on trash and recycling and stuff like that. And I'll tell you what, Rusty looked over at me and said, we are not doing that. We are not making more trash. That just didn't fit our community. It just didn't. Maybe that's something that fit their community, and the work they did, it was impressive. We're sitting there oh my gosh, we didn't do that, It was really good. And so what did fit our community suddenly, as Rusty and I began to brainstorm, is how can we kind of get our community to pledge to do better? What would that look like? And so
we've kind of, it originally started with just maybe a postcard. Maybe we send a postcard out to the whole community that says, I pledge to keep Tularosa beautiful. And then I wanted that to be a little nicer than that because, I mean, while we are an analog community, a lot of us just throw that mail away. Like, we're not going to sit there and flip through it or anything. So I thought, what about swag? Everybody loves free stuff, right? We love swag. So what could we do? I finally decided on maybe a nice little refrigerator magnet that says, you know, I pledge to keep Tularosa beautiful. And one of the things that we worked on that the village supported us with was this report illegal dumping. So this is a new initiative to our Tularosa community with the police department back here. This is what I'm going to turn and look at you, Chief. That we don't really know what's gonna happen with this. We have no idea. We've never done this before. We know that the village has already come far enough to get electrical improved in an area that we are having a problem with, and we are reporting that to Kalinda that the municipality stepped up and did that for us because we're making an effort to deter, which changes people's habits. You know, come on, if there's some way that maybe we could, I don't know, publicly shame them. I know that some other police departments do that like once we can maybe catch pictures of these people that dump, and it's a little community.
Fine, isn't it? It's a
Oh, I mean,
fine.
yeah, it absolutely is. And so,
If they catch it on camera,
yeah, and if there's a way,
prosecute that.
I mean, if there's a way we can kind of just try and work towards making a change to it.
Find one or two of them.
Yeah.
We're gonna get out, but do you
Yeah.
guys have a working camera over there yet?
Not yet. She just got the green.
Just got the green tag today from PNM to
Yes.
get the electric. We had
So-
Apex go in there and fix everything. We put security doors up, and so now we have the go-to from PNM. They're gonna put electric, and the cameras will be installed.
Yes. And I pushed really hard because like all projects, like it's something I've been saying for like 5 months already, we need part of the formalizing the beautification program, I felt like we need to try out a website. How does that work? How does that fit for us? Does that give us a little bit of validation to where people don't have to like go to Facebook or be your friend, or they can just go to the website, right? And so I got it completed yesterday. It's a little rough still if you go and look at it. There's still some areas that I need to fill in and stuff, but it's live. And this report illegal dumping hotline is live. So when you scan that, it takes you to this website that asks you to fill out a form. It's a Google form, and you can submit a picture with it, and it comes to this info@keeptularosabeautiful.com email address. So if we get any reports, maybe we'll be able to pass them forward. You know, we are gonna act in confidentiality. We're not gonna be blasting people's information. We don't know if this is gonna be the complaint department. People send pictures of their neighbors being, you know, nosy or what, but we'll see how this goes. And so that's where we're at with the promoting better habits in our community, trying to address communication and making those changes, and that we are ready to get a illegal dumping report. Actually, if you guys feel like it, go on there and report something petty right now so that I know that it works. And then that way, then that's, you know, anyways, we'll get that out there. That magnet that I send out to the community, I want it to have that little QR code that says scan here for report illegal dumping, you know? And so I'm working on that. And then I want to take a pause because I know that I come with high energy and a lot of words. And do you guys have any questions? Because like I said, I would love to.
Also tell them about all the trash cans that are gonna be going around
the
town.
trash can. How did I forget the trash cans?
That are already on
Thank you.
Granado. We got them
Yes.
for the whole community.
Okay, so once we faced the because once we deterred away from the medians out, we're done with that project. We're on to new projects. Rebecca actually came forward. It was her one request. I was like, oh my gosh, it's the only thing she's asked for. We've got to do this. It was $25,000. But she said, God, I love those trash cans so much on Granado Street. And I wish that we had those in some of our high pedestrian areas, like around the bus stops and just in some of these walking areas, because we have no pedestrian trash disposal areas. And it hit, I mean, boom, right there, ticked every Kalinda mark that it was litter abatement and, you know, addressing so many things that it perfectly fit. So we ordered 20. So there's 20 trash cans that are like the ones on Granado that the village maintenance department can be selective about where they install those so that they're accessible to them, because they are you do have to hand change them. And I've noticed how that's going downtown. A lot of trash collects in those things, but they leave them till they get full. They're not being wasteful with trash bags. They sit for a week or so. And then I've noticed that like trash maybe peeks out the top, boom, next day it's cleaned. So I appreciate that. We're very grateful for that effort and, support on that too. So
Very
thank
good
you.
about
Thank you
bus
for
stops,
reminding
too.
me.
Yeah, that's where we're,
Yeah, wherever they need to go.
I don't even know when they're coming in.
I don't know either.
I-
But
The only question I have is when you're grinding the glass down,
Mhm.
you won't be using kids to do that.
So we're thinking that,
kids are in
I mean, it's,
I mean, I know you can use it to collect the bottles and all
Yeah,
that. The
exactly.
grinder itself,
yeah, and Rusty's
is it,
also,
is it a,
It's a big machine.
and it's
so
like,
it's safe?
it is safe, and there's videos of just like, two guys working it.
Okay.
But Rusty wants to enforce like a really high safety standard on that, where he
Right.
wants everybody to be full PPE and like gloves and goggles. And so if we do utilize students, they're gonna be of the 17, 18-year range, which he was having that kind of participation. And they are gonna be fully, coursed and maybe a safety course or something before we do that. So we have time to set a standard for that as well. So thank you for
Yeah, we're-
bringing that up.
That equipment does belong to the village.
Yes.
So we're gonna have to put it on village property. We're kind of brainstorming right now what we're trying to do with that, where we're gonna put it, where they could utilize it. So we're in the process of doing that right now, because we won't get the machine, like she said, for another 6 months. So we're thinking of where we're gonna place it and where they can utilize it and things like that, but it does belong to the village.
Yes.
And I think we're the only one.
We're the only one in the state of New
State
Mexico
of New
that'll
Mexico
be
who
doing
has
it.
one.
Yes, it was really cool. It was
Yeah.
going to be a standout project. On the 2026 funding, man, that's always we shot high for that one. We asked for money to maintain and continue capacity. So like, we're going to need now, once we're collecting glass, we need glass trash cans, and the list goes on. And so I did apply for funds towards some of those foreseeing, expenses that I could think of. And then also, because of our youth initiative, they suggested recycled vending machines, which is also something that you see in like Oregon and maybe in California, not in very many rural New Mexico areas. So if we were awarded that funding, I was thinking that we buy 1 or 2, maybe 3 machines, and we put them at the schools, maybe at the middle school, the high school, and that kids can interact with it there in a safe environment. And if they're able to, they work on it's called a reverse vending machine. They work on a token system. We can assign them to do anything they want. Like, it could print a sticker that said, "Thank you for recycling." Or it could be a coupon to go to the, whatever we want it to be. Yes, whatever we want it to be. But just really the initiative is to get kids recycling, and it's an interactive process. So that was kind of, a wild, an idea for our area here, but with kind of some of the other progress that we want to see things for this generation to do. These kids are just growing up with nothing to do around here. And if we can take some of their ideas, maybe implicate them, then we can use them, grow, provide more access to some other fun things. Actually, amazingly, I don't know how I did that. That kind of led me into this middle part exactly right here. Recently, we just placed this joy box right here in front of the dry goods. They adopted it for us, so it's bolted right there up to the wall. Some locals made it for us, but what they wanted, or were hoping, was that maybe the wood shop class would be able to make another one, so that they're an interactive kind of journey or experience. These kids walk about and do things. Tularosa does already have 2 little libraries that don't seem very well used, but that's just kind of libraries, I guess maybe that's just what's happening to books right now. I mean, I know that books aren't as appreciated as they used to be. And so my original thought for this little joy box, after we did the clothing swap over there, which went so dang good, it was so good. We saw over 100 kids like organically coming and participating in that, and it was just great. And so I thought, man, that went so well. Maybe we need to have like a free little I know that there's a lot of food pantries and stuff, but nothing that a kid can just walk right up to around our community. And so I wanted to do a pantry box, but we did have some objection from the neighbors on Granado Street. They were like, "Ugh, free food on the street downtown, not the aesthetic we were going for."
Oh, you mean like your business neighbors?
Yes, business neighbors, yes, downtown on Granado Street. So we curved that plan right away. So, and since the dry goods store adopted it, I'm gonna call it, I wanted to call it free goods, dry goods, free goods. But the ladies at the dry goods said, how about free goodies? And so we're gonna just put goodies in it, like, coming up, school supplies are coming up, we can put school supplies in it. Halloween, we can put Halloween stuff in it, Christmas, etc. So that one can be rotating and is kind of already ready to rock and roll and fun to go. But what I'm asking for permission from the village for is to move forward and make more of them, because we just got, we had this one adoption lined up, but we don't have an endless amount of real estate. And maybe what we were envisioning is that maybe right here as a complement to the community garden, we could add a little community pantry box there. Because again, facing that it is, we want to be careful. We want it to be maybe in a higher visibility area, that there's less chance of vandalism or personal property involved. And so if you don't have to answer that today. Actually, you don't have to give me an answer on either one of these projects today, because I like to bring things up sometimes. And both of these are coming to you guys organically right now for the first time. I haven't made any public announcement about these or anything like that. And so if we could, we would like to in the future propose maybe some more of these joy boxes or pantry goodie boxes around.
What, do you just put goodies in them, or what?
Yeah, I would like the next one to be a pantry box. I'd like for people to be able to put free food in it. Ruidoso has 4 of them, and I myself let my kids use them. There was one, because I had a business in Midtown for a long time, and so the park up at Wingfield Park, they have one, and I would let my daughter walk up there, and she'd come back with a bag of Cheerios or something, and so they're intended to be dry good boxes. In Ruidoso, they're called called the Covered Wagon Project.
What's gonna keep our homeless people, or what's gonna keep them from taking away from the kids?
Exactly. That's why it's a delicate proposal right now. It's very, I don't know the answer to that. That was exactly the concern of our neighbors, which is why we deterred away from that on Granado Street. And so if we were to, I felt like if we did one, I don't want to see a whole bunch of them, and if we did one pantry box, I would like to see it maybe in this area of the police station or right here by the community garden, because I felt like that was,
In a garden, you're gonna end up, people are gonna take it because it's out of sight.
yeah,
You're not gonna be able to monitor it.
Yeah.
By a camera,
yeah.
but closer to the police station.
Yeah,
Kids that feel safe, I mean, and that's a good way for the kids to get to know you guys,
Yeah, actually,
And
maybe that would be,
That's an
maybe
interaction,
y'all could adopt that one. Since we
Yeah.
got the last one, maybe we could get the next one adopted by the police
mean,
station.
That way
That's a
they
really
can-
good idea.
They can get to know the
Yeah, because
police.
they have cameras around here.
They
Yeah.
have cameras, and they get
Yeah.
to know the police as an organization that's not here to arrest them, but to help them.
Yeah, I really like that. Thank you for that solution, because I really didn't know where to go with it. I knew that I just wanted to
We need to
propose it.
ask our chief
'Cause
of
there we
police
go.
if she can put
Look
it
at
in.
that. She's like, here you go. So then, you know what, actually, if we are able to make that, then we can have a project once the school year, can you believe it's already fixing to start in just like a couple of days? So, but then when that new school year comes, we can have a project and kind of ask the wood shop if they would be willing to build us a box. So we'll talk about that later. Thank you for that solution. I appreciate you guys hearing me on that. And then the next one, this one's wonky, y'all. Just bear with me. I'm being creative over here. So in all of our recycling initiative that we've done, Tularosa and Granado Street are identified as an artsy area. There's a lot of galleries, there's a lot of artists around our community. We have an aging demographic. There are more seniors and kids than there are working class here in our community. And so I want to work on some projects that maybe fit all of that. What's something we could do? So I'm not really sure. I know that this project didn't complete it, and I understand why these things happen. It's just things don't get completed sometimes. Money runs out, person that was in charge of that project retires, moves away, whatever happens, happens. But this open bare patch here that has a beginning of a brick path here, I was thinking that maybe we could fill it in with an artsy type of a mosaic flair there. It would be really unique. Again, it wouldn't be something that as you see around, it would be kind of artsy for our, here. But I want to work on it just one foot at a time. Maybe work with the senior center, maybe work with the art classes, be able to utilize our workshop space, and just do it one small section at a time.
They've just started this right here.
Yeah,
So what I have seen, and I saw this in Las Cruces,
yeah,
and they actually told me how they did it. They actually went to the hardware stores and asked them for their broken tile, because they
Okay.
always have broken tile, some
Yeah,
of the broken
yeah,
tile.
yeah.
Get all their broken tile and you break it up even more,
Mm-hmm.
and then you make that kind of look, and then you put it in between each, you know. You're
So-
not gonna run the whole thing that way.
Yeah,
You're gonna run more of that brick and then some of the decorative tile,
okay.
and then more of that brick all the way down, and it looks real nice. I saw it done in Las Cruces.
Thank you. I'm so excited that you know what I was talking about. I was like, well, I'm gonna give you a picture, so, because this is gonna be interesting to explain.
No, I keep trying to, I keep trying to iterate this to Rusty, and maybe you can get this through to him.
Mhm.
I realize that we are the city of roses. I realize that we need roses around our community, you know. But in the median, I just don't think they're going to live until it's hard to water them,
Mhm.
you know?
Mhm.
And I've tried to make him realize there's beautiful, beautiful, beautiful plants out there that don't need water.
Right.
The sage is one of them.
Yeah.
The bird of paradises, and they're beautiful. You know, they have red and they have yellow ones. And there's just, and the reason I brought that up is because I went to a tournament in El Paso, and there's a nursery over there that, oh my God, they have everything like that.
That grows in our area here.
That grows in our area. And I talked to the lady.
Least amount of water.
The least amount of water. Sage is one of the best, and yet it's pretty. It
Mm-hmm.
blooms purple, you know? And we got to get away from thinking the rose bush it's not destined for this area. It's not destined to put out there. Around our buildings, of course,
Yep.
that's what we need to do. But I just don't think we need something where we can just water it whenever, or even use the rain for the watering system,
Right.
you know?
No cactus, though.
I
It's not-
personally
it's
love
not a-
cactus,
yeah,
but
it's- these are not cactuses, they're actually
I'm just saying that.
plants.
I
Have
like
you ever seen a sage?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and
I'm
the
saying.
bird of paradise, and
I
they're
love
just,
those,
they're,
it's
I mean, El
Something
Paso,
less maintenance.
El Paso does this for every piece of their freeway, and I love the bird of paradises.
Mm-hmm.
And I keep telling everybody when we go, my kids, get out and cut me some. And they said, Mom, we're on a highway, quit. But they're really pretty. I mean, and then you mix them with the sage, and you there's a one called a Sharon, bird of Sharon or something. It's another one that's a desert plant, you know.
yeah.
And get away from the roses, because we're
I
just.
know. That's exactly why I'm proposing this project, like the sidewalks, because it's not on the highway. It's not live, it's not living. It's something we could do 1 foot at a time. We can do it with any combination of the people. We can even resource the supplies and
You know, you can also break your glass up.
oh, the
Yeah,
glass.
and
Oh,
put it in
see,
there.
I
And see that
know.
glass crusher, it can make different sizes. and
does.
different
It can,
pieces, so we could use
it can
for
crush
that
up
too.
all different colors of glass.
That would be really fun too.
And you know where you should get your glass from to do this? From the bar. Where
From the
do you-
bar. I know.
Because they have all
They
wine
do.
glasses,
That's
wine
what we
bottles that
coordinate
are all
with them to
different colors.
collect their gas
Yeah.
once a
Green,
week
brown.
or something.
Yeah.
Yes, yes. Thank you. I'm so excited that you kind of see why my creative mind was attracted to that project. Feels like it would be a quick win. It feels like we could get people involved. It's not something we have to put a time limit on. I mean, we might finish it in 3 months. We might not finish it for I mean, it might just inch down the road. We don't know. But I actually think I think that we'll get enough attention. We might blow through both sides of the road like within a
think it'd
couple of
look really
months.
nice.
Yeah, I think it would look really nice. So that was what I wanted to propose to you guys today. If we could have permission, and I hadn't spoken to anyone about it because I wanted formal permission first. And then if it was something that you guys would consider that like, yes, we could authorize that kind of project, then I was gonna get excited about it, start working on
So
getting
you're
this stuff.
talking to us today, and then we'll
Yes.
vote on it
Yeah,
next
when
time? or-
we
Yeah, it's just discussion only.
Yeah, that's great. That sounds great. I would really appreciate that. And then I know that was a lot, and I tried to keep it on a small piece of paper, but I still managed to talk for a long time. It was a lot of information. I told Rebecca, I want to make a big presentation, a big one. She was like, just come. So anyways, please always feel free to reach out if there's a question you think about later or anything like that. Give me a call. So, thank you guys.
Well,
Thank you,
if your
Kendra.
group showed the energy that you did explaining all this now, I mean, there should be no problem.
Go team Tule.
Yes.
Are you tired now, Robert, or what?
Sounds like he wants to go help out.
Just they're very enthusiastic to find someone that's willing to take on and
It's nice to
takes
have
it to heart.
somebody that
Thank you.
has, that is,
You know,
that
Kendra's
has
amazing.
Tularosa
Yeah.
at heart.
It's
you know.
awesome, you guys. I'm so thankful. Every chance I get to speak to you guys, every opportunity that I get to participate in, seriously, I'm so thankful. So thank you guys.
So who would have thought that dirty little girl with the dirty little hair and the dirty little mouth and all that?
I
That I
know.
used to go up there
Yeah.
and clean their potty while their dad
I
was
just-
building it. Her and her brother used to be so dirty. I'm like, "Oh, those kids are filthy."
I just told Rusty this story the other day because we were talking about camping and I said, I hate camping. It's because I grew up camping. And I said, actually, that's how the mayor remembers me.
They were more or less camping out and, yeah.
Okay, thank you guys. Thank you, really, really.
I hope I didn't embarrass you.
No, I love it. Because I just said that the other day. I really did. I was like, all of a sudden, I was like, actually, that's how the mayor remembers me.
Yes, it is.
So thank you.
Thanks, Kendra.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay.
So we have any old business to talk about?
I got a couple of things. It might fall under old business.
Okay.
What have we heard, if any, from
Robert took-
where, he's retired, I understand now, Mr.
Garcia?
David Shields.
Oh, yeah, he put another guy, and this guy's wife was from here, is that
Yeah, I
correct?
think so, something
She
like
used to be
that.
from here, but he's taking very good care of us.
Yeah.
What's the guy's name?
I
guys?
forget his name.
You're gonna have to give me
Maybe
his
it's
name and
Matthew.
number because I've gotta call him,
Or,
cause
Yeah.
the two senators wanna talk to him.
oh, okay.
Okay. He's doing a real good job for us. He's just picked up right where David
Well, I
left
hope
off.
he does better because we're still looking, or I'm still looking to see what's happening at Pilar Chavez Lane with that sewer problem that, or lack of a sewer there.
Right. Well, I'm working with Diana and Nora from Bohannon, Houston on our ICIP, and we're probably gonna throw that in there, so.
Yeah, if they let us, remember, they're
Yeah.
talking about.
I mean, we have top five we gotta put, top
Yeah, but
three is always
that's
water.
not the problem. Remember, they were talking about they don't want us to add anything to the sewer plant right now. They were talking.
Oh,
about-
yeah,
They were talking, because our sewer plant is
overloaded.
overloaded right now. They really don't want us to add any residential areas, any business, like big business areas to this sewer plant right now because of the condition it's in. And basically, we've talked to everybody in the whole free world that will listen to us. And they've all said the same thing. There's no way they're ever gonna give us that kind of money. What's gonna happen is it's gonna fail, then they gotta come and fix it for us.
Yeah, capital outlay only gave us $500,000 this year, so that's like $5
Yeah, it is. It's like
compared to what
$5.
we need to get done, so.
10 million, do we not?
But we are working towards a lot of grants right now that are opening up with the new fiscal year. The Water Trust Board, we applied for that last year, but we got denied because they weren't doing any wastewater. This year, they are allowing wastewater projects. So we're working on that, so hopefully we can get a good amount of money from that. And we have a few other things,
How
but
many houses are you talking about out there on Tulare, Chavez, adding on?
Pilar Chavez Lane on that side?
There's probably about 8,
8,
Yeah, I would say
maybe.
about 8, yeah.
maybe 8.
Maybe we can get away with that.
I don't think it would be a big,
There was about
big
8,
deal
yeah.
on the sewer plant if we added
We
8.
could probably get away with that. I know that they told us anything over 20, we can't do. We can't do, any like big businesses, which we don't have big.
And I know we have
businesses.
the current situation with that, unfortunately with the sewer plant that's working now, but what about the one that failed, the one that,
I don't know, I wasn't
what's
here.
happening on that one?
What, the lagoon?
The original, the one that they did several years ago that worked on it and then it failed almost right away because it didn't, they put how many millions of dollars on it and
I'm not sure.
that
but
was
the-
before my time. It was already dead in the water by the time I started here.
Right now, the current project that's going on with the wastewater treatment plant is our lift station.
Remember I think we had Lancon cleaning that out, also that new one now because of all the.
I know Angel's been having to go over there a lot and clean out whatever they've been doing. He's been having to clean out the stuff and get rid of it. But we're working on our lift station right now, so that's the project that's
I
going
know
on.
there was talk of eventually trying to use that same area, that same if we could possibly get the funds to put it in the
Stephen
new
Dill put the
system
nix on
there.
that one, remember that?
that?
Stephen Dill said no, because we're gonna bury that. But he was more or less leaning towards helping us get a newer one.
Yeah,
Fix what we have right there, but get a newer one.
Yeah.
Stephen
I think
Dill
one
and,
of the problems.
because I know the one that we have now supposedly it should be only temporary. We only got a reprieve for a while.
I think Angel said he had one of the problems with the stormwater getting into the
Yeah.
sewer, and that's what's
Yeah.
messing up right now.
I know, yeah. And he's also he's working on a form, he's gonna do all the grease trap inspections for all the restaurants here to make sure they all have them. So we have no grease in our system, hopefully, as much, as little as we can. What was your old business, Pat?
well, that was number 5 on my list, but he took that one. Water situation right now, what's going on with the tanks? Are we okay with the water? You put
I
a
think
notice
what
out.
Nash told me is, if we could do no watering right now residentially, because of the flooding up in Mescalero, I guess he's not catching enough water to fill the tanks. I guess they built kind of like a dam or something up there, close, I don't know, it's holding water back, we're not getting as much. We're having a hard time catching water to fill the
Where are
tanks,
they
so.
holding the dam at?
I guess up in Mescalero, after they had that flood. I don't know exactly what happened over there, but it's affecting the water flow over here. So he wants to, for residents to stop watering so he can, get the tanks filled up a little bit more.
So speaking of that, I called the groundwater people. As of right now, they're kind of overwhelmed, but they told me they were gonna make sure that they get to it. And that is the water that's being held at Bent, okay? And also Mr. Owens holding, I know that doesn't have anything to do with this, but it does eventually. Those are illegal. You cannot pond water, period.
Yeah, because
You
somebody's
cannot.
literally ponding water up there right now.
Yeah, right now, there's a big pond up there.
They're saying that they're doing their water rights, but they're putting the water into the pond
Yeah. Yeah.
longer than,
And they- and they
so they're
can't-
not supposed to be doing that.
You can't hold water.
Right.
And there's a huge pond up there right now, so the groundwater, I called the groundwater and they said, no, those can't be. And I said, you got 2 of them, you got that one and that one out there is a mini lake.
Right.
So, they're supposed to start working, getting on that, because I did report that.
Okay.
And that led me to number 2 was Robert, we talked about doing a reservoir. That would be ideal water for us to do a reservoir in Tularosa. I can't let that one go for some reason. All these years the water just goes out in the desert or to wherever it goes. And I thought about maybe in front of the old tank, or maybe out here by the bypass, right? Yeah, Robert, if you don't mind.
Thanks for bringing that up, Pat. The same thing happened, what's happening now in 2020. So I was the commissioner at the ditch, and we, through the state engineer and also Mayordomo, allowed the fire trucks to pump water out of the ditch reservoir and take it up to, because it was already purified, skimmed off the top, and added some processing power to fill up the tank somewhat. That's obviously off the table right now with the situation going on.
You think?
Won't be any cooperation. But we identified 4 places from Round Mountain to the existing village water tanks. If you do 1 acre foot of a pond where the water is going through and continues to go through, we can evaporate most of what Mr. Owens is doing back there. And the good thing about it, we can get funding from the feds, Forest Service, all kinds of federal things, because it would be aiding and having a water source for helicopters to take the water to the fire up in the hills. So those are the ideas we started working on in 2020, 2021. Those sites are still available, and the problem is the state doesn't allow any pondage larger than 3 acre feet. But it's reservoirs that could be used for a lot of different things, including environmental studies and stuff. But if we do it up the hill, we have the same benefit of what the waterworks does now. Don't need a pump because it's all flowing downhill. Obviously, through the purification plant, it's clarified so we can process it much faster in quantity. So, but it gives 3 or 4 buffers up there, was the original idea back in 2020.
that was one way to do it. And also remember also the discussion we had before, prior to this, was also the $12,500,000, 12,500,000 gallons of water that allotted to the village per month. And we don't use, but in the summer, during the winter months, we use about 6 million gallons of that water.
That's
I think
right.
we use some of that water as well, and that's something that we kicked around.
Right, and that goes back to the 1965 and 1972 court issues with the village versus the ditch. The 1972 ruling is still in effect, has not been modified. So it could be lawyer negotiation time with that, because the ditch corporation's violating that agreement right now.
So I need to get with you afterwards, and we need to talk about something, so.
Yeah. There's a lot of ways to do that, but if you keep the water up the hill, you know where Mr. Chavez has his RV park? You lease a 1 acre foot pond there that'll go still downstream. So if you get 3 or 4 different 1 acre foot ponds, that's how much the village uses in irrigation water in one irrigation week. So it's considerable water, and it flows 24/7. The ideal part is to fill it up during the wintertime and during the fall when there's minimum need off of the creek in the village, both for the ditch and for the village.
Use about 6 million gallons in the winter months.
Oh,
Versus the
probably double that.
12, yeah.
That's what the water studies of all the way from 1912 have forecasted that. And the creek hasn't really gone down very much. Now, yes, Mescalero's having some problems, but 60% of all the water that the creek gives or provides for the village, whether it be the ditch corporation or for the village, is from Bent West.
Has he-
60% of all the ditch.
Has he cleaned out that intake?
I'm not sure.
Well, I told him that to get with them, they need to get it cleaned out. I'll get
You
with
have to
them.
ask him, yeah.
Yeah, they need to get it done. And Angel and them said they'd help him, so.
There's a lot of things that are clogging up the water flow in Bent as well. And it's
Right.
not flood related, it's just neglect.
Mhm.
So,
I'm gonna keep pursuing this, because I think that'd be a great deal for this board to pursue. Eventually get this reservoir.
Andy Salazar came down and he showed me the pictures of what he's doing up there. He's opening up all the ditches. I mean, this is all on his own time. He's renting stuff to do it with. And he's got the ditches where the flowing was like this, now the flowing is like this, you know. He's cleaning out and he's doing it, he said, and he's right, it's more water for us, you know, coming down. He said, this'll be more water for Tularosa just as much as it is for Bent.
that's why I called you a couple weeks ago about the culverts.
Yeah,
They're so clogged up, they're about 20% flow through the culverts underneath the highway where the creek goes.
You mentioned the Forest Service, they helped build Corona's lake up there, did they not?
They
Finance
did.
that. What about the railroad company? Could they help us?
They helped with the culverts underneath the railroad track.
Okay,
They clear those out regularly for us.
Okay.
At least they did. I don't know what's happened the last 3 years.
Okay.
We also have availability of the copper springs, the pipe that goes through Thule.
oh,
It's saline, but it's water that can be purified and desalinated.
is it that snake tank
Yeah.
project?
Snake Tank Road Project, Alamogordo?
But Alamo's not using the water because they can't afford the desalination plant. So it's available, but again, it needs to be cleaned and then purified.
And they were gonna,
You need volume.
remember they said they were gonna do the plant up there, and then they moved that to Alamogordo.
Well,
Isn't it-
if you guys go with David Shields' proposal, you know, or his company anyway, you're going to have a desalination plant either by the Montezuma well or up on the hill. So if it's up on the hill, you could pump, if you get permission from Alamo to lease or purchase water from that flow from the spring, pump it up to the purification plant as well as the Montezuma pump. You can desalinate both at the same time, and you have 2 alternative water sources.
It's water.
Water.
That's what you need, volume right now.
Right, we do.
Okay.
Okay,
Any questions?
No,
thank you so much.
You're welcome.
thanks, Robert.
Uh-huh.
Ask a question, if you don't mind, on
Sure.
this water deal. Years ago, and I think it was when Cordova was there, through, somehow they needed some kind of right of way from Tularosa or something. And they made an agreement with Alamogordo
Mhm.
that any water that was flowing through there that Alamogordo didn't have to have, Tularosa could divert. and
Yes.
use.
Emergency.
Now, that was so many years ago, I don't remember all the peculiars, but,
In an emergency situation, we can do that, yes.
You can also do an active water lease year to year.
What's that?
You can also do an active water lease.
Yes, we can.
Year to year.
Yes, we can.
So 6 months during the summer,
Yep,
Why not?
that's, yep.
available.
We might
Was
consider
that,
doing that, talking with
was that through
Alamogordo.
the desalinization plant that we're talking about now?
No, we're talking about, they ran from Benito here, they ran a
Right,
line.
Correct.
And they had to cross some of ours, so we gave them the easement in accordance, in agreement. Thank you, my mind was going blank there. It does that a lot these days. In agreement that if we need that water, we can use it. There's an agreement.
Yeah, but I know in that desalinization plant, it's a whole different thing, but that was coming from the.
The
Three Rivers
desultation
area
pad,
this way.
yeah, is in
And they were
Alamogordo.
supposed to come over here and stay with Tularosa. Somehow Alamogordo got control of it and now they have it or whatever.
But it's not being used, it's not even working.
It hasn't worked yet.
Desalination plant's working, they're not feeding it because they can't afford the electricity to run.
Yeah,
Okay. And
what's your other old
my,
business?
okay, this old police station, the old police station, can we get that, they painted that fire department, can we get that painted here?
Oh, that was through, a grant that
I
John
know,
got.
I know, it was grant for John.
You jump out there and get us a grant, we'll get it.
How can I do that? That's a historical building, is it not?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
Lucky you, I guess that's what you wanna do with it. I know what I'd like to do with it. Stick a bunch of dynamite in there and blow it up, but that's just my thought.
Also, I want to thank last night for the Downwinders program, the village, mayor, chief, did a great job on keeping that park really nice. And then our utility workers, our yard workers, man, they did a yeoman's job. I don't know if anybody went last night, but it was really a wonderful, wonderful dedication ceremony. And I want to thank everybody involved. Moved it from the Little League Field this year to the Veterans Park. I thought it was really, 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 really good. So I want to thank all the people involved in that.
I really wanna stress that, you know, this village does not run without our workers.
Yep.
And, you know, we set the policies and yes, we give our time, but those people are the ones that doing the work. You know, our village workers are the ones that are out there making us look good. And they did. They made us look good. And I have to thank Ralph Otero. He stayed till, I think, midnight. And then the yard workers, they were instrumental in keeping everybody out of the park because, as you know, we don't have enough police officers yet. And I want to speak on that too when he gets done. We don't have enough police officers to keep people, to stand around and do nothing and keep people out of the park. And I knew that park had to be maintained yesterday. And my guys or the village guys just chipped in. They didn't say anything. If you guys see one of them out there working, say thank you because they're the ones that put the flags up. Ralph and Randy put the flags up. Angel and them did the boom truck with the flag hanging down. You know, Angel and them cleaned the park up. They kept people out. Just thank them because, you know, I asked them, I said, this is volunteer. If you don't want to do it, you want to work your regular shift. Every one of them said no, whatever it takes to make it look good for our
They're
village.
very proud as
So,
well.
I really think that, you know, we owe them a big thanks. Not me, them. All I did is tell them what to do. I was just telling them what needed to be done. They're the ones that did the work.
I hope we gave them some time off today, right?
I told them they could take
They
whatever.
work their regular hours.
They worked the
did?
regular.
They still came to
Jesus
work on time.
Christ.
It's not like that, you know, I try to
Yeah.
tell them, okay, you guys can, you know, have some time off. No, that's okay, we're gonna go to work, we
Yeah.
don't care. If it's okay with you, Mayor, can we have the overtime? What am I gonna say? No, you can't have it, but thanks for working, you know? No.
Okay.
It turned out really, really
Really
good. I
nice.
hope they continue to do it in the Veterans Park because I think it's a fitting,
Yeah.
you know, event place to have it, you know. I think it was really nice, and I think they liked it
Yeah,
too,
I think so too.
so.
Okay, two more. RV park behind Lowe's grocery store, Ali Kassam.
Chief, what has been done with that?
Okay,
And we got. Right, yeah. And they got trees growing in the alley on his side. Not on the other side, all the neighbors have cut their stuff on the alley, but it's ridiculous. It looks like a big fat ugly jungle there. And he needs to get rid of if nobody's living in those trailers, he needs to get rid of them. He just needs to get them out of there and
right.
take them
Just clean it up.
and clean it up.
That's
Yeah,
what he
it
said
looks-
he was supposed to do, but
Yeah.
Okay, and my last one is the ball fields. We haven't been asked by Little League coaches and so on, and they'll probably be here at our next meeting on the 20th to kind of talk about possibly getting some parks, maybe baseball parks built, or quite possibly, I know we have property. We have property behind the center there. We have property on West 8th Street, and we also have over where the water goes.
I don't want to use up all the property by the center, but we could use some of it.
Yeah, it's huge. It's humongous.
28 acres.
Okay.
Yeah, 20 acres
Yeah,
there
I
at
don't
least.
because eventually I do, if Pat and I could work it out and find some way to get a swimming pool here, that was one of the first things the
Oh,
kids
there's
asked.
plenty of room out there.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah, swimming pools.
but patching to
There's
get worked
even,
on.
I mean, we could do a field, we can also, I know they're doing grants for trails, so it would be nice to have like a walking path for the seniors out there, a trail, so we could maybe apply for a grant for that. I mean, we could definitely utilize that land
Walking track.
for a few different things.
Okay, and also have the water and electricity there, so we can,
Right,
if we're gonna put parks, let's do it right and get grant money and.
that'll all come.
Be nice if we could make like a sports complex out
Yeah,
there.
that's exactly
With
what
the
we're
swimming
looking
pool
for right
and
now.
baseball fields and everything
Yeah,
else.
all the grant just came
No-
up.
nothing
I'm
wrong with grant.
struggling with what project. We need
The
to
last base-
upgrade our parks and put coverings over them. We want ball fields and all that stuff like that, so.
You know, after you and I talked today, I started looking into stuff and actually our parks are not legal.
Yeah.
And I'm wondering if we're gonna have to do that in order to maintain our parks.
Do what?
Right.
They're not legal. They gotta have a cover over them and they have to have it's not the
Wood chips,
wood chips anymore. It's something else that they gotta have.
rubber, yeah.
Yeah, something. And they're talking about, we need to get them up
Yeah.
to.
And the last Little League ballpark practice field was built by you and Rich Potter. I think you donated the metal and Rich did the welding on right there by the old center. Still standing. Appreciate that. I'll never forget that. But we need to do right by our kids now, so.
Yeah, we do, but we also have to be legal, Pat.
Mhm,
We have
right.
to have our parks legal too.
Yeah.
you know. We got a lot of projects that we gotta get working on.
Okay,
And you know, for that matter, if the Little League wants that kind of stuff, they also need to come out and do some work for it.
they'll be here next.
Bring some money to the table.
Yeah, they're gonna come, next month. I have them on the agenda already to come speak.
Well, then I'll tell
supposed to
them.
bring a
They're
crowd.
coming to ask for the work session, they just want ideas, people have ideas
Yeah.
going, so.
So,
Welcome that.
are you finished with your old
Aye.
business?
Thank you,
Okay.
thank you.
Do you have old business? No. Do you have any more old business? Okay, I'm gonna say one thing and then I'm gonna. The chief and I are working together to get quality officers, not quantity. We've had quantity before, we've been full-staffed and our town still is laughed at because we've got officers that have been, Brady officers, Gigliano officers that have just jumped from one to place because they've gotten in trouble, not enough quite to get them where they're not decertified, but enough to make problems. And we don't want that. And so if we gotta run our police with just the chief and one other person or two other persons for right now till we get some quality people in here, that's what we're gonna do. Because getting quantity and not quality makes us look stupid. And I hate to say that, but it is the truth. It makes us, you know, it makes us look bad, and we're not gonna do that. And the chief and I have talked extensively about this, and this, if you don't see officers coming really fast, it's not because we're not out there trying, it's because, as you all well know, nobody wants to be a police officer. And that's just the way it is. Nobody wants to work, let alone be a police officer and have to be accountable for stuff, you know. So we're really working hard at getting quality. And if we can build with quality, then we've got a police department. And we were halfway there with our chief, and she's quality. And she's working on getting us quality people. So just want you to know that if you don't see tons of police officers here, that's why. Okay?
Do we have anyone at the, excuse me, at the academy right now, or?
Yes, we have, Latham is at the academy right now. And Gordon will go next year, right? Yeah, Gordon's coming up pretty soon. That's his brother. Okay. Yes, sir. Oh, you want to be a police officer? Good. You just volunteered. That was fast.
I'd like to thank the village for what they've done in the last 3 months. In April 19th, my 97-year-old mother fell. I can't lift her up anymore without hurting my back. So I called the dispatcher for lift assist, and I believe his name is Lester, Officer
Dean.
Lester. He came and just was 5 minutes he was there and helped. Everything was cool.
Dean.
So a week ago Tuesday, she fell again. So I called the dispatcher for lift assist, and the dispatcher said that there was no officer available. But they sent the dog catcher. And they also sent the supervisor of the village workers. I mean, not the group, but the workers of the village.
Angel.
Angel.
And they both helped, and they were very courteous, and they were timely and stuff. So thank you for the village, for Officer Lester, as well as the village workers who are willing to help, and the dispatcher who was adaptive.
FYI, Angel wears dual hats, so he was with the fire department when he came and helped you. He wears a lot of hats.
But the dispatcher
Yes, yes.
scrambled everybody, and everything was fine, no broken bones or anything. So thank you to the village. There are some good things that are happening with the workers and the police.
They are. We have some really good people right now.
Thank you, Mr. Danke.
Thank
Appreciate that.
We need to hear from the public more often that we're doing the right things, because if we don't know it and we're walking around and people aren't telling us that we're doing something right, then we're always trying to fit. Ask Rebecca, I'm always asking her, you think this is the right thing? Am I doing? Because, you know, I know that you guys don't think about this, but I really have 3,000 people on my mind when I'm doing this stuff. It's not just the one thing, like when they did this with our water. You know, I couldn't sleep for 2 nights. I was so mad and upset because I was, you know, I couldn't believe that they don't want to work with us, you know, because I'm the type of person, I try to work with people, but you just can't work with people that don't want to work. So there's nothing I can do about that. Any new business, guys? No. All right, meeting adjourned.